Lesson 1, Breakfast Buzz.
Hey Anna, do you ever find it hard to wake up early for breakfast?
Morning, John, absolutely. Sometimes it feels like a mini marathon just to get out of bed.
Right? What do you usually have when you're in a hurry?
I often grab a smoothie. It's quick and gives me a boost. How about you?
I go for toast with avocado. It's simple but so delicious.
Interesting choice. Do you add anything special to it?
I sprinkle some chili flakes. It adds a nice kick.
Wow, I never thought of that. I usually just add salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper are classics. Have you tried it with a poached egg?
Not yet. That sounds tempting. Is it difficult to poach an egg?
Not at all. Just simmer it gently in water. It's easier than it sounds.
I should give it a go. What time do you usually eat breakfast?
I try to eat by 7:30. It gives me time to relax before heading out.
That's smart. I often rush and end up eating on the way.
I can imagine. Do you think it affects your day?
Definitely. A good breakfast sets the tone for a productive day.
Agreed. Plus, it's nice to enjoy your meal without stress.
Exactly. It's like a little moment of peace.
I love that perspective. Maybe I'll start enjoying my breakfast more.
Lesson 2, Convenience Conversations.
Hello Anna, do you think shopping online is more convenient than going to stores?
Hi John, absolutely. You can find everything in one place without the crowds.
Plus, you can compare prices easily. That's a huge advantage.
Right? And you don't have to worry about parking.
True. Do you have a favorite online store?
I love shopping on that huge marketplace. They have everything.
Same here. But sometimes the delivery takes ages.
That's the downside. I always check the estimated delivery time.
Smart move. I once waited 2 weeks for a package.
Oh no. That's frustrating. Did you contact customer service?
Yes, and they were surprisingly helpful. It made a difference.
Good to hear. It's nice when companies value their customers.
Definitely. Do you prefer shopping for clothes online or in store?
In store, for sure. I like trying things on first. What about you?
I prefer online for clothes. I can try them on at home without pressure.
That makes sense. Plus, you can see how they fit into your wardrobe.
Exactly. It's all about comfort and convenience.
I agree. Have you ever regretted an online purchase?
A few times. Sometimes the colors are different than expected.
Yes. Photos can be misleading. Always read reviews.
Absolutely. They can save you from a bad choice.
Lesson 3: Morning Routines.
Hey Anna, what's the first thing you do in the morning?
Morning, John. I usually stretch a little. It wakes me up.
That sounds nice. I like to drink a glass of water first.
Hydration is key. Do you add anything to your water?
Sometimes I squeeze in lemon. It's refreshing.
Great idea. I usually have a cup of tea.
What kind of tea do you prefer?
Green tea is my favorite. It's full of antioxidants.
Good choice. I enjoy herbal tea, especially chamomile.
That's soothing. Do you drink it before bed too?
Yes, it helps me relax. What about your breakfast routine?
I like to prepare something light, like yogurt with fruit.
Sounds delicious. I often make oatmeal with nuts.
Oatmeal is so filling. Do you add any sweeteners?
Just a bit of honey for sweetness. How about you?
I prefer it natural, just the fruit sweetness is enough.
That's healthy. I admire your commitment to good food.
Lesson 4: Daily Decisions.
Hello Anna, what's on your mind today?
Hi John, I was just thinking about my grocery list.
Oh, don't forget to get some eggs and bread.
Absolutely. I can't run out of those. What else do you suggest?
Maybe some fresh fruits? They're great for snacking.
Good idea. I love apples and bananas. What's your favorite?
I'm a fan of berries. They're so sweet and nutritious.
Berries are amazing. Do you usually buy them frozen or fresh?
I prefer fresh, but frozen is good for smoothies.
True. And they last longer in the freezer.
Exactly. What do you think about meal prepping?
I think it's a great way to save time during the week.
I agree. It helps avoid those last minute unhealthy choices.
Yes. Plus, you can control portion sizes.
Definitely. It makes eating healthy much easier.
Lesson 5: Mindful Mornings.
Hey Anna, how do you start your day with mindfulness?
Morning, John. I take a moment to breathe and reflect.
That's a lovely practice. I usually meditate for a few minutes.
Meditation is great. It clears your mind for the day ahead.
Exactly. I also try to express gratitude in the morning.
That's powerful. What do you focus on?
Simple things, like a good night's sleep or a tasty breakfast.
I admire that. I often think about my family and friends.
That's wonderful. It creates a positive mindset.
Yes. I also like to write in my journal.
Journaling is a great way to process thoughts. What do you write about?
I jot down my goals and feelings for the day.
That's insightful. I should start journaling too.
It's very therapeutic. You'll enjoy it, I promise.
I can't wait to try it. Mindfulness really sets a good tone for the day.
Lesson 6, Taxi Tales.
Hey Anna, have you ever taken a taxi from the airport?
Hi John, yes, I have. It was quite an experience.
What did you think of the taxi stand outside?
It was organized, but I felt a bit unsure about safety.
That's a valid concern. Is it safe to take a taxi from there?
I believe so, especially if you choose licensed taxis.
Good point. I always check for official markings on the car.
Exactly. Also, I prefer to book a taxi through a reputable app.
That's smart. Apps often have safety features like tracking.
Yes. Plus, you can see the driver's rating beforehand.
I love that feature. It gives me peace of mind.
Do you think it's more expensive to book through an app, though?
Sometimes, but it's worth it for the convenience and safety.
Agreed. Have you ever had an unusual taxi experience?
Oh, definitely. I once had a driver who gave a city tour.
That sounds fun. Did you learn anything interesting?
Yes. He shared hidden gems that normal tourists miss.
I'd love that. It's like getting a local's perspective.
Exactly. It made the ride so much more enjoyable.
Lesson 7, Trade Union Talk.
Hello Anna, have you read about the challenges facing trade unions?
Hi John, yes, it's quite a complex issue. What's your take?
I think there are traditional enemies of the trade union movement.
Definitely. Companies often push back against union demands.
Right. The steps taken against British trade unionism are quite significant.
It's interesting how political climate affects labor rights, isn't it?
Very much so. Policies can make or break union efforts.
Have you noticed any recent changes in labor laws?
Yes, some laws are becoming more favorable to workers.
That's encouraging. It's about time workers get better protections.
Absolutely. But there's still a long way to go.
True. Solidarity among workers is crucial for progress.
I agree. Have you seen any successful union campaigns lately?
Yes, some unions have successfully negotiated better wages.
That's fantastic. It shows the power of collective bargaining.
Lesson 8: Breakfast at the Hotel.
Hey Anna, did you ask about breakfast at the hotel?
Hi John, yes. I found out breakfast is included.
That's great. What do they offer?
A variety. They have pastries, fruits, and even hot dishes.
Sounds delicious. Do you prefer a light or hearty breakfast?
I usually like something hearty to start my day right.
Same here. A big breakfast keeps me energized.
Exactly. Do you have a favorite breakfast item?
I love eggs any style. They're so versatile.
Eggs are fantastic. I usually go for an omelette.
Omelets are the best. Do you add any special ingredients?
I like to include spinach and cheese. It's a great combo.
That sounds tasty. I often add mushrooms and peppers.
Yum. Have you ever tried a breakfast burrito?
Yes. It's a fun way to mix different flavors.
Lesson 9: Political Contributions.
Hello Anna, have you heard about the recent discussions on political contributions?
Hi John, yes. It's a hot topic, especially regarding women's organizations.
Absolutely. Many believe we should support women's shelters.
I agree. They provide essential services and support.
It's important to tithe to such organizations, don't you think?
Definitely. Investing in the community is crucial for progress.
Have you seen any campaigns promoting this lately?
Yes. Many grassroots movements are gaining traction.
That's encouraging. It shows people care about these issues.
Absolutely. When we support each other, we can make a difference.
I love that perspective. It's all about unity and support.
Exactly. Every little contribution counts in the long run.
I should look into ways to get involved myself.
Lesson 10: Land and Legacy.
Hey Anna, did you hear about the proposal regarding the land around the falls?
Hi John, yes. It's fascinating that the government is considering buying it.
Right? It's about preserving natural beauty for future generations. Do you think it
Exactly.
will help with tourism as
Protecting the
well?
environment is so important. Definitely. It could attract more visitors while promoting sustainability.
That's a win-win situation. Have you been to the falls?
Yes, it's breathtaking. The power of nature is awe-inspiring.
I agree. Have you seen any initiatives to protect such areas?
Yes, there are many conservation efforts underway.
That's promising. It shows we can balance development and preservation.
Absolutely. Education about these issues is key.
I'd love to get involved in local conservation efforts.
Lesson 11, Trade Talks.
Hey Anna, have you heard about the recent challenges facing trade unions in the UK?
Hi John, yes, it's quite concerning. What do you think are the main issues?
I believe one major obstacle is the ongoing opposition from certain political groups. They seem determined to undermine union activities.
Absolutely. It's almost as if they view unions as traditional adversaries. Why do you think that is?
It might stem from a historical perspective where unions were seen as a threat to business profits.
That makes sense. But isn't it interesting how unions also fight for fair wages and working conditions?
Definitely. Without them, many workers might not have the rights they enjoy today. It's a complex balance, though.
True. And what about the steps taken against British trade unionism? Have they become more aggressive lately?
Yes, some recent legislation seems aimed at restricting union power. It's a slippery slope, I'd say.
And what do you think the public perception is regarding these steps?
Many people are divided. Some support the measures for economic stability, while others view them as an attack on workers' rights.
It's a fascinating debate. How do you think unions can adapt to these challenges?
They might need to focus more on community engagement and public awareness to gain support.
That's a good point. Building relationships outside traditional frameworks could help strengthen their position.
Exactly. Plus, they could collaborate with other organizations to amplify their voice.
Collaboration could indeed bring new perspectives and resources to the table.
And let's not forget the role of technology in organizing efforts. It has the potential to reach a wider audience.
Right. Social media campaigns can be powerful tools in mobilizing support for their causes.
It's intriguing how the landscape of advocacy is evolving with these new tools.
Agreed. It'll be interesting to see how trade unions navigate these changes moving forward.
I can't wait to see how they leverage these opportunities for growth and resilience.
Lesson 12, Breakfast Banter.
Hey Anna, did you enjoy the breakfast at the hotel?
Hi John, it was delightful. I had the pancakes. What about you?
I went for the classic eggs and bacon. Did you try the coffee?
Yes, it was surprisingly strong. I almost did a double take.
Right? I thought I'd need a caffeine intervention. What's your favorite breakfast item?
I'm a sucker for French toast. The fluffiness is irresistible.
I can't argue with that. Have you ever made it at home?
I've tried. But it never turns out as good as in a cafe.
Same here. It's like the magic of the chef is missing.
Absolutely. Speaking of magic, have you heard about the breakfast buffet at the new place down the street?
I have. They say it's like a breakfast wonderland. What do you think they'll have?
I expect a variety, maybe even some exotic fruits.
Exotic fruits for breakfast sounds like a dream. Do you think they'll have smoothies?
They better. A good smoothie can make any morning brighter.
True. I'd love a mango smoothie to start my day.
Mango is perfect. But I can't resist a berry blend either.
Berry blends are fantastic. So, are we planning to check out that buffet tomorrow?
Let's do it. I'm excited to see what they offer.
Perfect. I'll set the alarm early so we don't miss out.
Great idea. A delicious breakfast is worth waking up for.
Absolutely, it's the best way to kick off the day.
Lesson 13, Weekend Plans.
Hi Anna, I was thinking about what to do this weekend. Any ideas?
Hey John, how about we go to the park for a picnic? The weather's supposed to be great.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. I can bring some sandwiches and fruit. What do you think we should do after the picnic?
Ooh, we could go for a hike on one of the trails. I heard there's a really nice view at the top.
Hiking sounds perfect. I've been meaning to get some exercise. Should we invite the others to join us?
Definitely. The more, the merrier. I'll send a message to the group chat.
Excellent. This is going to be a fantastic weekend. I can't wait.
Me neither. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
Alright, let's get planning. I'll make a list of what we need to bring.
Sounds good. I'll look up the trail maps and directions.
Perfect. This is going to be the best weekend ever.
Lesson 14, Booking Accommodations.
Alright, Anna, let's finalize our weekend plans and book accommodations in advance to avoid any issues.
Sounds good, John. Where should we look for a place to stay?
I was thinking we could try renting a cabin or cottage near the hiking trails. That way, we'll be close to the park.
Ooh, a cabin in the woods. That sounds so cozy and perfect for our outdoor adventure.
Exactly. I'll start searching for some options. Do you have any preferences on the size or amenities?
Maybe something with a kitchenette so we can cook our own meals. And a fireplace would be lovely for the evenings.
Great ideas. I'll make sure to look for those features. What about the number of bedrooms? Should we get a larger place so everyone can stay together?
That's a good point. Let's aim for a 2 or 3 bedroom cabin so we can all bunk up. It'll be more fun that way.
Agreed. I'll start checking availability and pricing. Hopefully, we can snag a good deal if we book it soon.
Definitely. The sooner, the better. I'm getting excited just thinking about our cozy cabin weekend.
Me too. This is going to be the best trip. I'll send you the details once I've found the perfect place.
Wonderful. I can't wait. Just let me know the final arrangements, and I'll start planning the rest of our activities.
Will do. This is going to be an amazing weekend, Anna. I can't wait to get away from the city and enjoy nature with you and the gang.
Lesson 15: Preserving Soil Nutrients.
Hey Anna, I was reading about how potatoes can help preserve the nutrients in the soil. Have you ever heard of that?
Really? No, I haven't. That's fascinating. How exactly do potatoes help with that?
Well, apparently potatoes have a deep root system that helps aerate the soil and prevent erosion. And as the potatoes grow, they return nutrients to the ground.
Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't know potatoes could be so beneficial for the environment.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was thinking we could try planting some potatoes in our garden to help enrich the soil.
That's a great idea. We could even try growing different varieties, like purple or fingerling potatoes.
Exactly. And we could use the potatoes we grow in our cooking. It would be like a little self-sustaining garden.
I love that. We'd be reducing food waste and helping the environment at the same time.
Definitely. Plus, it would be a fun little project for us to work on together.
I'm in. Let's definitely give the potato planting a try. When do you think we should start?
Well, the best time to plant potatoes is usually in the spring, so we've got a little while yet. But we can start planning and prepping the garden bed now.
Perfect. I can't wait to get our hands dirty and see those potato plants grow.
Me neither. This is going to be great. I'm really excited to learn more about the benefits of potatoes for the soil.
Same here. It's amazing how one simple vegetable can have such a positive impact.
Absolutely. Alright, let's start doing some research and get ready for our little potato project.
Lesson 16, Seeking Advice.
Actually, Anna, I could use some advice. Do you have a moment?
Of course, John, I'll be glad to help. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been thinking about making a career change, but I'm not sure where to start.
A career change, huh? That's a big decision. What made you consider changing careers?
Honestly, I just feel like I'm not being challenged enough in my current job. I want to do something more fulfilling.
I see. That's understandable. What kinds of options are you thinking about?
That's the thing, I'm not entirely sure. I've been browsing job postings, but I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Okay, well, let's take a step back. What are your passions and interests outside of work?
Good question. I've always been really interested in sustainability and environmental issues.
Ah, that's a great starting point. Have you thought about looking into jobs in the green energy sector or environmental nonprofits?
You know, that's a fantastic idea. I hadn't even considered that. Where do you think I should begin my research?
Well, I'd suggest starting by identifying your transferable skills and creating an updated resume. Then, you can start networking and reaching out to professionals in those fields.
Networking, huh? That's something I've always struggled with. Any tips there?
Absolutely. Start by reaching out to your existing contacts, even if they're not directly related to your goal. You never know who might have a helpful connection.
That makes sense. Okay, I'm feeling a lot more motivated now. Thanks for the great advice, Anna.
I'm glad I could help. Just remember to take it one step at a time. Change can be daunting, but you've got this.
You're right. I'm excited to dive in and start exploring my options. This is going to be a new chapter for me.
I'm sure it will be. Let me know if you need any other help along the way. I'm here to support you.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it, Anna. You're the best.
Lesson 17, Rethinking Government.
Hey Anna, I was reading an article today that made me rethink my views on government. They argued that government is not the problem, but rather the solution.
Wow, that's an interesting perspective. I'd love to hear more about it. What were the key points they made?
Well, the article pointed out that many of the biggest challenges we face, like climate change and income inequality, require coordinated, large scale action that only governments can really provide.
That's a good point. I can see how certain issues are just too big for individuals or private organizations to tackle effectively on their own.
Exactly. The article also highlighted how things like public education, infrastructure, and social safety nets have dramatically improved quality of life for millions of people.
That's true. I guess I sometimes forget all the essential services and programs that governments deliver for the public good.
Right? And the article made the case that rather than seeing government as the enemy, we should be focused on making it work better and more efficiently.
Interesting. So, what do you think needs to be done to improve government and make it more effective?
Well, the article suggested things like reducing bureaucracy, increasing transparency and accountability, and finding ways to get citizens more engaged and involved.
Those sound like reasonable steps. It's all about striking the right balance between government's role and individual/private sector responsibilities.
Definitely. I have to say, this article really challenged my preconceived notions about the role of government. It's given me a lot to think about.
That's great, John. It's always good to keep an open mind and reevaluate our perspectives, especially on important issues like this.
Absolutely. I'm glad I came across this article. It's really sparked my interest in learning more about how we can build a more effective, citizen centered government.
That's awesome. I'm happy to discuss this topic more anytime. It's a complex issue, but an important one to grapple with.
Definitely. Thanks for chatting with me about this, Anna. You've given me a lot of food for thought.
Lesson 18: Quality Time Together.
Anna, that camping trip we have planned sounds like so much fun. It must be great to spend quality time together with our friends.
I know, I'm really looking forward to it. Getting out of the city and into nature is exactly what we all need.
Absolutely. I can't wait to go hiking, roast marshmallows by the campfire, and just enjoy each other's company without any distractions.
Me neither. It'll be such a nice change of pace from our usual routines. I bet we'll come back feeling refreshed and rejuvenated.
Definitely. Sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life that we forget to slow down and appreciate the simple pleasures.
Exactly. This trip is the perfect opportunity to do just that. Unplug, unwind, and reconnect with the people who matter most.
Couldn't agree more. I think we all need that from time to time. It's easy to lose sight of what's really important.
Absolutely. Quality time together is so valuable, and I'm glad we've carved out this weekend to focus on that.
Me too. I have a feeling it's going to be a weekend we'll remember for a long time.
I'm sure of it. The memories we make are going to be priceless.
Absolutely. I can already picture us laughing around the campfire, swapping stories, and making s'mores.
Ooh, s'mores. That's going to be the best part. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Ah, me too. We'll have to make sure to pack plenty of chocolate and marshmallows.
For sure. And maybe even some fancy gourmet toppings to get creative with our s'mores.
Oh, good idea. This is going to be the ultimate s'mores experience.
Definitely. I can't wait. This is going to be the perfect weekend getaway.
Me neither. I'm so grateful we get to do this together. It's going to be amazing.
Lesson 19: Dangers of Corruption.
Hey Anna, I was reading about the effects of corruption on people, and it's really concerning.
I can imagine. Corruption can have some very dangerous consequences, can't it?
Absolutely. The article I read outlined how corruption can lead to things like poor public services, unfair distribution of resources, and even violence.
Wow, that's alarming. I knew corruption was problematic, but I didn't realize the extent of the negative impact it can have on people's lives.
Yeah, it's really eye-opening. The article gave examples of how corrupt government officials might divert public funds for their own benefit rather than investing in things like healthcare or education.
That's terrible. It essentially robs citizens of vital resources and services they desperately need.
Exactly. And the article also discussed how corruption can breed distrust in institutions and the rule of law.
I can see how that would be so detrimental to a society. When people lose faith in their government and public systems, it can lead to civil unrest and even conflict.
Absolutely. The article mentioned that in some cases, corruption has even fueled the rise of extremist groups who promise to fix the system.
That's really concerning. Corruption seems to create a vicious cycle that's incredibly difficult to break.
It does. But the article also highlighted ways that citizens and civil society can work to combat corruption, like demanding transparency and accountability.
That's good to hear. I'm glad there are ways for people to take action and push for positive change.
Me too. It's an important issue, and I think the more aware people are of the dangers of corruption, the better.
Agreed. This has been a really eye-opening conversation. I'm grateful we got to discuss this important topic.
Same here. It's given me a lot to think about in terms of how we can work towards a more just and equitable society.
Absolutely. Every little bit of awareness and action counts when it comes to tackling corruption.
Definitely. I'm glad we had this chat. It's motivated me to learn more and get involved in anti corruption efforts.
That's fantastic, John. I'm proud of you for taking an interest in this critical issue. Together, we can make a difference.
Absolutely. I'm ready to do my part. This is going to be an ongoing effort, but it's one that's worth fighting for.
Lesson 20: Memorable Movie Quotes.
Hey Anna, I watched that new comedy movie everyone's been talking about. Did you catch it?
No, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. How was it? Any memorable scenes or quotes?
Oh, there were a few really funny ones. This one quote in particular had me cracking up.
Ooh, do tell. I love a good movie quote. What was it?
Okay, so there's this scene where the main character is trying to impress this girl, right? And he blurts out, "Are you a keyboard? Because you're just my type."
Haha, oh my goodness. That's so cheesy, but I can see how that would be hilarious in the right context.
I know, right? The delivery was just perfect. The actor nailed the awkward, nervous energy.
I can imagine. That's such a dorky pickup line, but I bet a lot of people can relate to that kind of fumbled attempt at flirting.
Definitely. It was just so cringeworthy, but also kind of endearing. I loved how the character just owned his awkwardness.
That's great. Sometimes the most memorable movie moments come from those relatable, humanizing bits of humor.
Absolutely. There was another scene that had me in stitches too. The main character tries to do this epic jump over a fence, but he totally eats it.
Oh no, I can already picture that going horribly wrong. Was it one of those slow motion, cringe-worthy wipeouts?
Yes. And the look on his face afterwards was priceless. He just lays there on the ground, defeated, and mutters, "I stuck the landing."
Haha, oh my gosh, I can hear that line so clearly now. That's comedy gold right there.
It really was. The whole theater was cracking up. This movie knew exactly how to strike that perfect balance between humor and heart.
I'm sold. I definitely need to check this movie out now. Thanks for sharing those great quotes and scenes. You've got me intrigued.
Anytime. I'm always happy to share a good movie recommendation. This one's definitely worth a watch. Prepare to laugh until it hurts.